Hey everyone. Laura's developing a magical potion for Micah's memory, piquing David's interest as he has a crazy idea. The next day, David eagerly seeks Laura to learn her secrets, and she is happy to share her tricks. She found animal memories aren't just in the hippocampus, they have other hidden spots like a sci-fi plot. Some memories are even stored in the cerebrospinal fluid, and her new potion can let these memories mingle like they are to magic Mike show absolute. Laura treats David to an epic mouse memory experiment, pitting a mouse against the cat in a maze that's like a mouse and cat showdown. Caught off guard, the mouse is snatched by the cat, and Laura pulls out her secret potion. She draws cerebrospinal fluid from another mouse, then mixes in a fusion potion like making a cocktail. Then she injects the cocktail into the mouse, and in the next death, it magically escapes the cat's claws, like seeing hope. Since the other mouse had cleared the maze multiple times, it means her potion is truly magical. David is left speechless, thinking, what if this stuff being a forensic expert? David knows they extract cerebrospinal fluid during autopsies as evidence. He's always on alert. If this potion works on humans too, it means he can use the victim's memories to track down the killer. David immediately decides he wants to be Laura's first clinical subject, and this outrageous request totally freaks Laura. She insists her potion hasn't even been tested on humans yet, and David has to leave in disappointment. After interacting with Laura, she learns from friends about David's background and his wife's murder case, and she feels incredibly Laura investigates and discovers the prime suspect in David's wife's murder is none other than David himself. Talk about dramatic. David letter 1b6, I athipan sign O acute death O machine Chinese letter U acute letter 234 delta plus or minus paragraph times I at 3 O graph G pound. To find his wife's real killer, David decides to take a risky route, sneaking into storage to grab his wife's cerebrospinal fluid using his job authority. He sneaks into Laura's lab, steals the fusion potion, and plans a memory makeover at the crime scene. Laura mentioned that returning to familiar scenes speeds up memory retrieval, but David is stunned by how vividly the memories come rushing back. Everything's vivid, David finally sees from his wife's view, enduring emotional turbulence. That night, a storm rolls in, and as Mary, an assistant district attorney, is heading home, she never expects a mysterious man lurking in the shadows. Suddenly, the man locks her in a chokehold from behind, and the ambush sends her into a panic. This experience profoundly impacts David. Mary didn't even see her attacker, and just like that, she's taken down. David feels as if he's suffocating like a nightmare. After waking up, he realizes the potion worked, but he still can't pinpoint the killer. However, clues from the matchbook spark hope in him. Maybe the pharmacy killer is the same as the one who killed his wife. Using the pharmacy victim's memory to find and catch the killer will get him answers. David rushes back to the evidence room and uses his connections with security to sneak into the storage room. David locates the cerebrospinal fluid from the pharmacy victim and, armed with the fusion potion, heads to the crime scene, finally spotting the killer's identity. The killer is the long-haired man, but what happens next sends chills down David's spine. The long-haired guy assaults 3 others, then locks onto the female victim, shooting her down in an instant. He shows no mercy and shoots at the female witness. The jarring memories sap David's consciousness, and the next moment, everything spins. Luckily, he wasn't detected. Upon waking, he rushed back to ask colleagues to sketch the killer. The wonders of technology. But repeatedly using the fusion potion causes David to suffer side effects, especially with those jolting memories straining his heart. Although he took medicine beforehand to prevent issues, his body still reacts strangely. Laura realizes her potion's been stolen and confronts David. Laura is shocked to find David took the potion secretly, fearing she'll be blamed too. But David couldn't care less, because her potion is groundbreaking, an absolute secret weapon for the police. David says he'll take full responsibility and won't involve Laura. Still, Laura worries and examines him. Luckily, he's fine. His colleagues quickly identify a suspect based on photos. The suspect, a repeat offender often in custody, is David's bold claim for the pharmacy case killer. But his colleagues look puzzled, utterly clueless as to how David arrived at that conclusion. David struggles to explain and can only vouch for himself, insisting this is the killer. If the fingerprints match, the police will swoop in. But David's claims still don't convince his colleagues. Desperate to find the long-haired man and confirm if he's his wife's real killer, he pleads with his colleagues for help. Finally, his colleague agrees, but warns that if anything goes wrong, he won't clean up David's mess. With information about the long-haired man's recent haunts, David charges forward, determined to find him. He shows up at the hotel to ask the owner, only to get turned down because he's just a forensic expert without a search warrant. Turned away, David bumps into the long-haired man in the elevator. David gets nervous, and memories from the victim rush in, frightening him. By the time he regains his composure, the killer has hailed the elevator and escaped, leaving David to dash down the stairs to follow. However, the killer realizes something's off with David and instantly retaliates. After all, in a crowded area, he knows if the police catch wind, it's game over.